What's up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka JustTenMoreMinutes, aka the Freakin 10, back again with another video. This time we're back with Sabaton Midway. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, and even in the first one I did, Shirayama, Sparta, and Midway were ones that were requested by a subscriber, but they also asked that I watch the history first. After Shirayama, I wasn't sure I was going to, but I went ahead and watched both Sparta and Midway before reacting to this. I'll be honest with you, it did take away some of the excitement, but I like to keep my word, and so I did watch both of those beforehand. For Sparta, I really think that the movie itself took away from the music, in the sense that, you know, for myself, that I've never watched that movie. I'm not a big movie guy. I found myself being more enthralled by the movie, and the music became an accompaniment, and that wasn't my intention. So, you know, with this one, I'm really going to be focusing more on the music and the lyrics and how they tell the story rather than the visuals, because honestly, it really threw me off with these productions. So with that being said, there's only one thing left to do: switch it up. Let's check it out. So I'm going to stop it there. And I'm truly looking away from the video because of what happened with the past two, where I just found myself watching more than listening. And we know, you know, the Battle of Midway, right? And I say we as if I was there. But really, you know, basically it was intercepted about something big about to happen. And so, you know, ships were sent to kind of stop what was happening with the progression of the Japanese fleet. And so, you know, the Japanese leaders, you know, didn't understand where these bombers are coming from. It just wasn't clicking that, you know, the ships that the reconnaissance had told them about were actually powerful ships. So it was kind of underestimated, and that's where this huge battle comes in and really kind of moved it into the next era, as the History Channel says. These lyrics, though, are really cool. Send them over the waves, our sentinels. And I like the vocal effect they did, where, you know, it was kind of like coming over the radio, right, with the first couple of lines. Send them over the waves, our sentinels. They report in the news position of our foes. This battlefield's been chosen tactically in advance. Time to alert our fires. We're soon in range. Now it's interesting because I was sitting there just rereading it, because normally when what they kind of go for a rhyme scheme isn't there, right? Usually does kind of a rhyme, then a line, then a start of a rhyme, then an ending rhyme, and then kind of repeat some of the same things he said at the beginning. But this one's different. Now, this is an older one of 2010, and I don't know if that's something that he shifted to in his writing style later. as I've seen with the past couple. Midway, we'll meet at Midway, naval war. Calling all men to deck, got to be airborne. Head out into the sun, descending on our foes. This is the crucial moment in the heat of war to fly and hit our targets down in the waves. Midway, display their might, ordering characters, admirals of war. We'll meet it with Midway to win the fight. Tactics are crucial. Naval war. Right? So there's that naval war. We'll meet at Midway, where I kind of said, you know, they kind of take some of it and they put it in generally at the end of a chorus or at the end of a verse, and kind of change it up, but they use the same lines. The music itself is really cool. I love the changes. You know, it's got some things that I've heard in other songs, but that's okay. A lot of bands do that, you know, where they brought in some strings and kind of that orchestral play. But I think overall, yeah, this tells such a good story. So I'm going to let it keep going. I'll see where it goes.
From the shore of Pacific War, bombs are falling from the skies. It's a long round day, it's a naval way. The blood-red sun is on the rise.
Yeah, so here's the difference between this one and Sparta and Shirayama. Shirayama, the music shined as well. Sparta, the movie, I mean, it's a powerful movie, right? It won a whole bunch of awards. Like I said, I never saw it, but I found myself kind of gearing more into it. This one, the movie was not as strong as the music was. It gave great visuals, but the music really told more of the story. Far from shore, a Pacific war. Bombs are falling from the skies. It's a bomb run day. It's the naval way. A blood red sun is on the rise. So here they use skies and rise, right? And kind of go to an actual rhyme scheme, similar to what they had done in the previous one, where it was might and fight. Whereas in the first couple of verses, there was not a lot of a rhyme scheme there. Far from shore, Pacific war, bombs are falling from the skies. It's a bomb run day. It's a naval way, a blood red sun on the rise. And then repeating, Midway, display their might, ordering carriers, admirals of war. We'll meet at Midway to win the fight. Tactics are crucial, naval war, and then they repeat that, and then they end with Midway. So yeah, I think this one was a lot stronger. Like I said, I want to listen to Sparta again because I think the movie just threw it off for me. But this one I picture a lot like Bismarck, right? Where you've kind of got the sea battles going, but the music is just front and center. And I think that's what worked really well for Bismarck. That's what I think really works well for this one more than I think Sparta or Shirayama, which are fantastic songs. But I think the visuals from SG Knight took away from the music itself. Again, brilliant job the way they pieced it together, but that's just my 2 cents on it for me personally. Yeah, this one really shined. This reminded me a lot of Bismarck and just those sea battles right now. This was obviously a lot different. The Battle of Midway, them taking out the carriers, you know, and then they obviously did sink the Yorktown from the submarine. But you know, as they go on to say, it kind of it didn't end the war. There were still several years to go, but it kind of changed the battle viewpoint of, you know, strategics and tactics. And as it says, tactics are crucial. It's a naval war. And then in this instance, the American Army, by gaining the intelligence, was able to get the upper hand with that. So with that being said, let me switch it back, give you my final thoughts. I think I nailed it on the head for me now that I've watched all three of these and the history. And I think for me personally, I'll be watching the music video and then I'll be watching the history and I'll review the history afterwards. You know, and maybe I'll do the song and then the history the next day. This one really stood out, but it does remind me a lot, I think, of Bismarck. I'd have to go back and listen to it. But, you know, the visuals really played into the music rather than the music playing into the visuals on this one. And I really liked it. I really, really enjoyed this one. I definitely... I liked knowing the history, but I think I want the surprise of the music beforehand. Yeah. But great. You know, SG Knight, again, great job of piecing it together and putting the right pieces in, editing it together. Superb job. Greater skills than I'll ever have editing. There's a reason I do one take on mine. I hate editing. I suck at it. But with that being said, let me give those little shameless plugs. If you liked the video, hit that like button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. What other songs you want me to react to. And if you like the content I'm putting out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Putting out content every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday and Wednesday focusing on Nightwish, Ginger, and Sabaton, and then a bonus video for each of those days. And then on Fridays, it's Free for All Friday, where I basically take a request list, which I'm up to 60 right now, that are not part of the Ginger, Nightwish, and Sabaton rotation, and I knock out as many of those as I can. And discovered some amazing artists. I've said it before, you know, Alter Bridge, Tardigrade, Inferno, two to name, you know, Melissa Bonney and her bands. Absolutely fantastic. So looking forward to more of those, along with Avatar, Ghost. I mean, many bands that y'all have turned me into that I can't wait to get on those. So with that being said, that's going to close it off for this one. I hope you have a great rest of week. And until next time, always remember, if someone asks you to stop what you're doing, don't ask for 1, don't ask for 2, and certainly don't ask for 5. Someone asks you to stop what you're doing, always ask for just 10 more minutes. I'm JTMM. I'm out.